Samuel Doe's murder was a calculated and chilling warning to the entire African continent. It was intended to send a clear and powerful warning to all Pan-Africanists who dare challenge Western supremacy. Doe's downfall was orchestrated by paid agents through multiple betrayals, sold out by his own household, his economic plans for Liberia sabotaged by supposedly brothers-in-arms, and his allegiance rewarded with treachery by the very peacekeepers. ECOWAS, the Western powers' cynical ploy to install Samuel Doe as their puppet ruler backfired spectacularly, igniting a flame of defiance that would shake the foundations of their neo-colonial control. As Liberia's first indigenous president, Doe dared to dream of a future free from centuries of oppression and exploitation. Doe's audacity to right historical wrongs and chart an independent course for his nation struck terror into the hearts of those who had long profited from Africa's subjugation. Doe's determination to uplift his people and reclaim Liberia's resources for its rightful owners became his death sentence. The West, realizing their grave miscalculation, saw in Doe not a malleable and young figurehead, but a dangerous spark of true African liberation. Doe and his close friend Thomas Sankara, who was also assassinated, shared the same ideology as Nkrumah. Sankara served as the president of Burkina Faso from 1983 to 15th October when he was assassinated by his close friend and ally. Sankara was responsible for renaming his country from Upper Volta to Burkina Faso, formulated foreign policies that concentrated on anti-imperialism and various initiatives that favored the advancement of his people. These are some of the reasons the late president's public execution was gruesome. It bore all the hallmarks of slave masters' tactics to brutalize those they deemed rebellious, a calculated act of terror to send a chilling message to other African leaders. The loss of over 250,000 innocent lives, millions scattered in refugee camps all over the world, did not deter their evil plans. Even though the war regressed Liberia by 50 years, they felt it was all Doe's fault for denying them access to Liberia's resources in the first place. Besides, who will be brave enough to challenge them against the word of an uneducated native man who was supposed to be their puppet? They have all the money, power, and communication at their disposal. Whatever narrative they write is always the right one, despite the blaring truths. Doe's only hope was to write about Liberia's traumatic experience. On 3 June 1990, he handed his last copy to journalist Elizabeth Blunt at the mansion. It was his heart's cry that one day, maybe one day, someone will read his thesis. His groundbreaking thesis is called A Survey of Liberian-U.S. Relations, exposing dark secrets of U.S.-Liberian relations. The betrayal extended across West Africa, with 16 out of 17 countries participating in the ECOWAS-led ambush, leaving Doe isolated and vulnerable. This intricate web of deceit and violence exemplifies the enduring legacy of the Berlin Conference, a relentless Western campaign to keep Africa impoverished through division, conquest, and any means necessary. Doe's tragic fate stands as a blood-soaked testament to the lengths to which oppressors will go to maintain their stranglehold on African resources and autonomy. It is a gut-wrenching reminder that the promise of true independence remains a perilous journey, fraught with betrayal and unimaginable violence orchestrated by those who fear Africans' self-determination above all else. Because they have the means, power, and communications, they have labeled Doe a monster and filled the narratives with lies and half-truths. When the real story of Samuel Kanyon Doe is finally uncovered, it will eventually be told that his life is an example of endurance against odds and, indeed, purpose and reason and duty above self. Doe has not only made an impact on the course of Liberian history over the years, President Doe was a living legend. To deny this is tantamount to committing a historical suicide. To extinguish this truth is to condemn our present and future generations to a darkness of ignorance. We stand at a crossroads yearning for another leader who will rise up with the courage to shatter Western lies, to unearth every buried truth, and to tear away the veil of deceit that has suffocated our beloved Liberia for over 3 decades, bringing death, destruction, and long-standing curse. Only through this relentless pursuit of honesty can we hope to find salvation. When that day comes, and come it must, our nation will finally begin its true journey towards healing. We will embrace forgiveness not as weakness, but as strength. We will demand restitution not out of vengeance, but out of justice. Even though President Doe faced unrelentless challenges from day one, including surviving over 40 assassination attempts, he was able to still complete projects from previous administration and construct many new projects. Here are a few of them. Replace the US currency with Liberia's own currency, thereby enjoying a 1-to-1 exchange rate with the US dollar, improving the economy. Invested more than $90 million in the development of the National Highway Network. Invested more than $64 million in the construction of buildings, renovation and maintenance of public buildings by 1985. Repaid inherited loans of more than $92 million by 1985. Extended food sufficiency from the previous administration to implement the Green Revolution. As the FA chairman, the president elevated sports in Liberia and was instrumental for George Weah's football success, increased the minimum wage in Liberia from $35 to $200 for civilians and $250 per month for army personnel. Built the Pan-African Plaza UN building, built the new National Archives Center, built the Ministry of Foreign Affairs building, built the Earth Satellite Station, constructed several warehouses for LPMC, built Liberia's National and Savings Bank, built Liberia's new modern central bank, construction of the Babangida International Highway in Cape Mount, extension of the University of Liberia, and introduction of additional MA programs. Renovated JFK Hospital to a high standard for the entire West Africa as a referral hospital, construction of the 20-bed Redemption Day Hospital in New Crew Town. Construction of the 167-room Friendship Maternity Hospital in partnership with Japan. Built Liberia's new National Police Headquarters. Constructed the Health Ministry, later renamed the Health Ministry and Social Welfare. Began construction on the $8 million for Liberia's Defense Ministry, which already paid in full. Completion of a telecommunication link between Liberia and Sierra Leone as part of the Pan-African Telecommunication Network known as PANAFTEL on July 31, 1981. Development of self-help projects in 3 counties, launched development drives in several counties, Lofa, Maryland, and Grand Gator counties. Built and dedicated the new $7.8 million water treatment plant at White Plains. Created Lone Star Telecommunications to improve communications for Liberia. Built the Tubman Nursing School in Maryland County. Construction of the Kesley Boulevard. Construction of the SKD Boulevard. Construction of Redemption Drive. Creation of the Gunter Harper Highway Project. Built and dedicated new power station at Kabanga in Bong County on July 9, 1982, which he said was his proudest moment as head of state. Construction 92-bed leprosy hospital at Ganta Lerosalem. Renovated the Carter Vadaya Maternity Center. Renovated the Bardnersville Health Center. Renovated the West Point Clinic. Renovated the Antoinette Tubman Stadium. Construction of 75-bed Phoebe General Hospital in Robertsport, Cape Mount County. Construction of 15-bed health centers in 4 counties. A. Sabo Swaken, Grand Gator County. B. Barn, Nimba County. C. in Riversess. D. in Sasstown. And E. a 21-room rural health training complex at Phoebe Hospital, used to provide clinic development of the National Eye Care Program established in 1981, securing hundreds of ophthalmology scholarships to Israel over the years. Construction of the 15-room health facility for the visually handicapped in their school complex, Dodeki Boys Institute in Maryland County. Construction of new housing projects for armed forces at the Barclays Training Center. Construction for the National Police Barracks. Construction of the Ministry of Justice building. Construction of the Bureau of Immigration complexes. Construction of the headquarters of the National Fire Service. Construction of Camp Ramrod Barracks. Construction of Camp Tadi Barracks. Construction of the Coast Guard Base Barracks. Construction of the Executive Mansion Barracks. Construction of Tuzon Barracks. Constructed Camp Schieffelin Barracks. Construction of barracks also in Sanakweli, Kabanga, Boinjama, and Zwedru. Constructed 72 apartments between 1983-84 at the Matadi housing estate at $233 million to add to the original estates completed by the Tolbert government. Constructed 100 for low-income earners under the Georgia Site and Services Program of the National Housing Authority, NHA, in 1982, completed the SKD complex, which was started by the previous administration, construction of the new National Radio Complex, extension of the Liberian broadcasting system, constructed the Gabriel Tucker Bridge as planned by the previous administration, renovated the existing Waterside Bridge, created Doe Community by reclaiming land, launched the National Petroleum Exploration Program, constructed the Nancy B. Doe Jogban Town Market, constructed the Merry-Go-Round Market and spacious hygienic markets in Gardnersville. In 1984 alone, 11 new industries were granted concessions to begin operations at a total investment of $28.7 million and expected generation of 1,279 jobs. Introduction of the Summer High School Apprenticeships Program, paying $75 per month for work experience. Construction of the head office of Liberian Broadcasting System was completed. Construction of the Liberian Rural Communications Network, Rural Radio Network, television program was expanded to some parts of the hinterland such as Gbanga, to access of all President Samuel Kanyon Doe's books and to support our worthy cause. Visit us at samuelkanyondoe.com.